Hidden beneath the waves, in the cold, dark depths of the ocean, lies a treasure trove of resources. These are not the sunken treasures of pirate lore, but vast deposits of minerals and metals crucial for our modern world. This hidden wealth has sparked a new gold rush, a race to the bottom of the sea known as deep-sea mining. For centuries, the deep ocean floor remained largely unexplored, a mysterious realm shrouded in darkness and pressure. But with advances in technology, we are beginning to unlock the secrets of this final frontier. From rare earth elements used in smartphones and electric cars to copper and nickel essential for construction and manufacturing, the deep sea holds the key to a new era of resource extraction. The deep ocean is a delicate and poorly understood ecosystem, home to unique and often fragile life forms. The challenge we face is to balance the need for resources with the imperative to protect our planet's fragile ecosystems. We must proceed with caution, guided by science and a deep respect for the ocean and all its inhabitants. Deep-sea mining represents a new frontier in resource extraction, venturing into uncharted territories to meet the growing demands of our planet. Traditional mining methods, often environmentally damaging, are becoming increasingly unsustainable. Remotely operated vehicles equipped with cameras and robotic arms are used to survey the ocean floor and extract resources. These sophisticated machines can withstand the immense pressure and harsh conditions of the deep sea, sending back valuable data and collecting samples for analysis. By accessing untapped resources, we can reduce our reliance on land-based mining, which often leads to deforestation, habitat destruction, and pollution. Deep-sea mining also has the potential to create new economic opportunities, providing jobs and boosting economies, particularly in developing countries. However, it is crucial that we proceed with caution, carefully considering the potential environmental impacts and implementing strict regulations to ensure responsible mining practices. The promise of deep-sea mining is undeniable, offering a potential solution to our growing resource demands. However, this promise comes hand in hand with a significant peril, the potential for irreversible damage to the fragile deep-sea environment. The deep ocean is home to a vast array of unique and often poorly understood ecosystems, teeming with life that has adapted to the extreme conditions of this hidden world. The extraction process could destroy habitats, generate plumes of sediment that suffocate marine life, and release harmful chemicals into the water column. Noise and light pollution from mining operations could also disrupt the delicate balance of these ecosystems, with unforeseen consequences for marine life. Before any large-scale mining operations commence, thorough environmental impact assessments must be conducted, and strict regulations must be put in place to minimize the risks and ensure the long-term health of our oceans. The deep ocean floor, once considered a barren wasteland, is now recognized as a repository of vast mineral wealth. From rare earth elements vital for modern technology to base metals essential for construction and manufacturing, the deep sea offers a diverse and potentially valuable resource base. These resources are not evenly distributed but concentrated in specific geological formations, each with its own unique characteristics and challenges for extraction. Understanding the nature, distribution, and potential environmental impacts of these resources is crucial for making informed decisions about the future of deep-sea mining. As we venture into this new frontier of resource extraction, we must do so with a deep respect for the ocean and a commitment to minimizing our impact on this fragile and vital ecosystem. Polymetallic nodules, treasures of the abyss, scattered across the vast abyssal plains. Thousands of meters below the surface lie polymetallic nodules, potato-sized concretions rich in valuable metals. These nodules, formed over millions of years through the slow accretion of minerals from seawater, represent a significant potential source of manganese, nickel, copper, cobalt, and other valuable metals. Extracting these nodules involves deploying remotely operated vehicles equipped with specialized collectors that gather the nodules from the seafloor. The removal of nodules which provide habitat and support unique microbial communities, could have cascading effects on the food web and overall ecosystem functioning. Furthermore, the plumes of sediment generated during nodule collection could smother filter-feeding organisms and disrupt the delicate ecological balance of the abyssal plains. Seafloor massive sulfides, hydrothermal hotspots. In stark contrast to the cold, dark abyssal plains, hydrothermal vent ecosystems are teeming with life, fueled by the chemical energy spewing from the Earth's interior. These vents, often found along mid-ocean ridges, release superheated mineral-rich fluids that create massive sulfide deposits on the seafloor. These deposits are rich in copper, zinc, lead, gold, and silver, making them attractive targets for deep-sea mining. However, hydrothermal vent ecosystems are incredibly fragile and slow to recover from disturbance. Mining these deposits could destroy vent ecosystems, decimate unique species, and disrupt the ecological processes that sustain these remarkable oases of life in the deep sea. Cobalt-rich crusts, encrusted riches. On the flanks of underwater mountains and sea mounts, cobalt-rich crusts form a hard, mineral-rich layer over millions of years. These crusts, composed of iron and manganese oxides, are particularly enriched in cobalt, a critical metal used in lithium-ion batteries, aerospace alloys, and other high-technology applications. Mining these crusts could result in the destruction of deep-sea coral forests and sponge grounds, which provide habitat for a wide array of marine life. The removal of these crusts could also release harmful metals and sediment into the water column, impacting the health of marine organisms and potentially entering the food chain. The allure of deep-sea mining is undeniable, offering the potential to unlock vast mineral wealth and fuel our technological advancements. The resources contained within the deep ocean floor hold the promise of a new era of resource extraction, one that could reduce our reliance on land-based mining and its associated environmental impacts. However, this promise comes at a cost, a potential cost to the health and integrity of the deep-sea environment, an environment we are only beginning to understand. The potential environmental impacts of deep-sea mining are significant and far-reaching, ranging from habitat destruction and species extinction to the disruption of ecosystem functioning and the release of harmful pollutants. It is a dilemma that demands careful consideration, informed decision-making, and a commitment to responsible and sustainable practices if we are to unlock the treasures of the deep without jeopardizing the health of our planet. The deep ocean, often referred to as the last frontier on Earth, is a realm of mystery and wonder. Shrouded in perpetual darkness and subjected to immense pressure, it is an environment that seems almost alien to our terrestrial experience. Yet, despite the extreme conditions, life thrives in the deep sea, a testament to the resilience and adaptability of nature. From bioluminescent creatures that illuminate the abyssal plains to towering hydrothermal vent ecosystems fueled by chemosynthesis, the deep ocean is a treasure trove of biodiversity harboring unique and often fragile life forms. The quest for valuable minerals and metals hidden beneath the ocean floor has cast a long shadow over this fragile ecosystem, raising concerns about the potential for irreversible damage to deep-sea life and the habitats they depend on. The very nature of deep-sea mining, involving the extraction of vast quantities of sediment and the potential release of harmful chemicals, poses significant risks to the health and integrity of this delicate environment. As we venture into this new frontier of resource extraction, we must do so with a deep sense of responsibility, acknowledging the potential consequences of our actions and striving to minimize our impact on this unique and irreplaceable ecosystem. Deep-sea ecosystems, shaped by millennia of evolution in a stable and resource-limited environment, are particularly vulnerable to disturbance. The removal of even small areas of the seafloor can have far-reaching consequences, disrupting the delicate balance of life in these slow-growing and interconnected communities. The extraction of polymetallic nodules, for example, can directly destroy the habitat of creatures that live on or around these nodules, including sponges, corals, and other benthic organisms. The plumes of sediment generated during nodule collection can also smother filter-feeding organisms, reducing their ability to obtain food and oxygen. Furthermore, the noise and vibrations from mining operations can disrupt the communication and navigation of marine mammals, such as whales and dolphins, which rely on sound to find food, mates, and navigate their environment. The interconnectedness of deep-sea ecosystems means that the impacts of mining are unlikely to be confined to the immediate extraction site, but could cascade through food webs, affecting a wide range of species and potentially altering the structure and functioning of these fragile communities. One of the biggest challenges in assessing the potential impacts of deep-sea mining is the sheer lack of knowledge about this vast and largely unexplored environment. The deep sea remains one of the least understood ecosystems on Earth, with new species and ecological interactions being discovered all the time. This lack of baseline data makes it difficult to predict with certainty how mining activities will affect deep-sea life and what the long-term consequences might be. The long-term effects of sediment plumes, noise pollution, and the potential release of toxic metals into the water column are still largely unknown, and there is a risk that irreversible damage could occur before we fully understand the consequences of our actions. Given the significant knowledge gap surrounding deep-sea ecosystems and the potential for irreversible damage from mining, a precautionary approach is essential to ensure the long-term health and integrity of this fragile and vital environment. While the visual impact of deep-sea mining, such as the removal of nodules or the creation of sediment plumes, may seem like the most obvious concern, the unseen impacts of noise and light pollution can be just as damaging to deep-sea life. The deep ocean is a world of darkness and relative quiet, and many creatures have adapted to this environment, developing sensitive sensory systems to navigate, find food, and communicate. The constant noise from mining machinery, including remotely operated vehicles, pumps, and dredging equipment, can disrupt these sensitive acoustic environments, potentially masking the sounds that animals rely on for survival. Light pollution from mining operations, particularly the bright lights used to illuminate the seafloor during exploration and extraction activities, can also disrupt the natural rhythms of deep-sea life. These unseen impacts of noise and light pollution highlight the need for a holistic approach to environmental impact assessments for deep-sea mining, one that considers not only the visual but also the acoustic and light environments of this sensitive and often overlooked ecosystem. The future of deep-sea mining hangs in the balance caught between economic gain and protecting fragile ecosystems. Decisions today will impact our oceans and future generations. Collaboration is key. Governments, industry, scientists, and civil society must ensure responsible mining. A robust regulatory framework is essential based on sound science and environmental protection. Investment in less impactful technologies like biomining is crucial. The deep sea is a global commons, and its fate should prioritize long-term planetary health. The race to the depths is on, with a diverse range of companies from multinational corporations to smaller, specialized startups, vying for a piece of the deep-sea mining pie. This new generation of prospectors is driven by a combination of factors, including the growing demand for critical minerals, the allure of untapped resources, and the potential for technological innovation. Some companies are focused on specific types of deep-sea mineral deposits, such as polymetallic nodules, seafloor massive sulfides, or cobalt-rich crusts, while others are developing technologies for exploration, extraction, and processing that can be applied across different deep-sea environments. This diverse landscape of players reflects the complexity and challenges of deep-sea mining, which requires expertise in a range of disciplines, from marine geology and engineering to environmental science and international law. The companies involved in deep-sea mining face a number of hurdles, including technological challenges, environmental uncertainties, and regulatory complexities. They also face growing public scrutiny and opposition from environmental groups and coastal communities concerned about the potential impacts of deep-sea mining on marine ecosystems and fisheries. Navigating this complex and evolving landscape will require a combination of technical prowess, environmental responsibility, and social license to operate. The companies that succeed in this new frontier will be those that can demonstrate not only their ability to extract resources efficiently, but also their commitment to minimizing their environmental footprint and engaging with stakeholders in a transparent and meaningful way. While deep-sea mining is still in its nascent stages, a handful of companies have emerged as frontrunners, attracting significant investment and pushing the boundaries of technology and exploration. These companies, often backed by governments or large industrial conglomerates, are investing heavily in research and development, testing new mining technologies and securing exploration licenses in promising areas of the deep seabed. One such company is Nautilus Minerals, based in Canada, which has been at the forefront of developing technologies for seafloor massive sulfide mining. Nautilus has partnered with the government of Papua New Guinea to develop the world's first commercial deep-sea mining project targeting a site called Sawara 1 in the Bismarck Sea. Another key player is Global Sea Mineral Resources, a subsidiary of the Belgian dredging and marine engineering giant Demi Group. GSR is focused on developing technologies for collecting polymetallic nodules from the Clarion-Clipperton zone in the Pacific Ocean. The company has conducted several pilot mining tests, collecting nodules from the seabed and assessing the environmental impacts of their operations. These frontrunners are paving the way for a potential deep-sea mining industry, demonstrating the technical feasibility of extracting resources from the deep seabed and attracting the investment needed to scale up operations. However, they also face significant challenges, including technical hurdles, environmental uncertainties, and growing public opposition to deep-sea mining. Their success or failure will likely determine the fate of this controversial industry and shape the future of our relationship with the deep ocean. The prospect of unlocking vast mineral wealth from the deep seabed has attracted significant interest from investors seeking to capitalize on this emerging frontier. Deep-sea mining is often touted as a high-risk, high-reward investment opportunity, with the potential for significant returns if companies can overcome the technological, environmental, and regulatory challenges. The growing demand for critical minerals, driven by the transition to a low-carbon economy, and the rapid growth of renewable energy technologies is further fueling investment in deep-sea mining. Electric vehicles, solar panels, wind turbines, and other clean technologies require significant amounts of cobalt, nickel, manganese, and other metals, many of which are found in high concentrations in deep-sea mineral deposits. However, investing in deep-sea mining is not without its risks. The technological challenges of operating in the harsh and unforgiving environment of the deep sea are significant, and the costs of developing and deploying specialized mining equipment can be prohibitive. Moreover, the environmental uncertainties surrounding deep sea mining, coupled with the potential for strict regulations and public opposition, create a level of financial risk that many investors are hesitant to embrace. Despite these risks, the allure of tapping into a vast and largely unexploited resource base, combined with the potential for technological breakthroughs and the growing demand for critical minerals, continues to attract investors to this high-stakes frontier. The coming years will likely see a surge in investment in deep-sea mining, as companies race to develop commercially viable projects and secure their share of this potentially lucrative market. Section 4. Navigating Uncertainty, the Regulatory Tightrope. The deep-sea mining industry faces a complex regulatory landscape. The International Seabed Authority, ISA, is developing a mining code to govern mineral exploitation in international waters. This code will address environmental impact assessments, financial contributions, and benefit sharing. Development has been slow, and contentious, with disagreements on environmental protection and benefit distribution. Environmental groups call for a moratorium until more research is conducted. They argue the deep sea is a global commons that must be protected. The regulatory landscape remains uncertain as the ISA continues its work. The prospect of deep-sea mining presents a profound dilemma for humanity, a sea of opportunity or a slippery slope toward environmental destruction. On the one hand, deep-sea mining offers the potential to access vast mineral wealth, fuel technological advancements, and support economic growth, particularly in developing countries. The minerals found in the deep seabed are essential for a wide range of technologies, including renewable energy, electric vehicles, and consumer electronics, making deep-sea mining a potentially important contributor to a sustainable future. On the other hand, the environmental risks associated with deep-sea mining are significant and far-reaching. The deep sea is home to unique and often fragile ecosystems that have evolved over millennia in a stable and resource-limited environment. Mining activities could destroy habitats, disrupt ecosystem functioning, and release harmful pollutants into the water column, with potentially irreversible consequences for deep-sea life and the services it provides to our planet. Moreover, the deep sea is a global commons belonging to all of humanity, and the benefits and risks of deep-sea mining must be shared equitably. The decisions we make today about deep-sea mining will have profound implications for the future of our oceans and the well-being of generations to come. Navigating this dilemma requires a precautionary approach, one that prioritizes the protection of the marine environment, invests in scientific research and technological innovation, and fosters international cooperation to ensure that any deep-sea mining activities are conducted in a responsible and sustainable manner. The future of our oceans, and indeed our planet, may depend on it. We stand at a crossroads, facing a pivotal decision that will shape the future of our oceans. The allure of deep-sea mining, with its promise of mineral riches, is undeniable. It holds the potential to fuel our economies and drive innovation. Yet this promise comes with a profound responsibility to safeguard our planet's most expansive ecosystem. The path forward must be charted with care, guided by science and sustainability. We must embrace a precautionary approach, prioritizing research and stringent regulations. The blue economy promotes sustainable ocean resource use for economic growth, improved livelihoods, and ecosystem health. Responsible deep-sea mining can support this by providing resources for renewable energy technologies. We must shift from extraction to stewardship, valuing the deep sea's intrinsic worth. This means developing technologies that minimize environmental impact and establishing marine protected areas. The blue economy envisions sustainable development that benefits both present and future generations. The deep sea, long shrouded in darkness and mystery, is now illuminated by the harsh glare of human ambition. The decisions we make in the coming years will determine the fate of this vast and vulnerable realm, shaping the legacy we leave for future generations. It is a responsibility that falls not just on governments and industry leaders, but on each and every one of us. We are all stakeholders in the future of our oceans, and we must act as guardians of the abyss, raising our voices to demand responsible stewardship of this global commons. We must educate ourselves about the potential impacts of deep-sea mining, engage in informed dialogue, and hold our leaders accountable for making decisions that prioritize the long-term health of our planet. Support for marine conservation organizations, responsible businesses, and scientific research is crucial in our collective effort to protect the deep sea. By supporting sustainable seafood choices, reducing our reliance on single-use plastics, and minimizing our carbon footprint, we can all contribute to a healthier ocean. The deep sea, with its ethereal beauty, its unique and often bizarre life forms, and its crucial role in regulating our planet's climate, deserves our awe, our respect, and our unwavering protection. Let us be the generation that chooses wisdom over greed, that prioritizes long-term well-being over short-term gain, and that ensures the deep sea remains a realm of wonder and inspiration for generations to come. The fate of the abyss, and indeed the fate of our planet, hangs in the balance. The time to act is now.